It's strange how a single moment can change the way you see the world. For me, it wasn't an accident. It wasn't a death in the family. It was a smile from a stranger. A woman who stood outside my window one night and changed my life forever. And the worst part? I don't think she's ever going to leave me alone. It all started on an ordinary night. Cold, late October. The kind of night where the streets are empty and the world feels like it's holding its breath. I was at my desk in my small apartment, trying to finish some work on my laptop. The glow of the screen was the only light in the room. My headphones were in, some quiet music playing, but the silence of the building pressed in anyway. I lived alone in a rundown building just outside the city. The place wasn't great. Thin walls, creaky floors, water that never ran hot for long, but it was cheap. And I liked that my bedroom window faced an alley. It gave me privacy. No one ever walked down there. At least that's what I thought. Around 12:30, I leaned back in my chair, stretched, and glanced out the window. And that's when I saw her, a woman, standing in the alley. At first I thought she was just passing through, maybe waiting for someone. But the alley was empty, silent, and she was standing perfectly still, looking up at me. Her face caught the dim light from the street lamp. She was smiling, not the kind of smile you give when you bump into a stranger, not polite, not friendly. This smile was too wide, stretched across her face in a way that looked painful. Her head tilted slightly, her eyes locked on mine. She didn't blink. I froze. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, my breath stuck in my throat. What do you do when someone is staring at you like that? Do you wave? Do you yell? I didn't do anything. I just shut the curtain quickly and tried to laugh it off. Maybe she'd leave. Maybe she wasn't even looking at me. But after a few minutes, curiosity gnawed at me. I pulled the curtain back just an inch. She was still there. Same spot. Same smile. Her body didn't move. Not even a twitch. Only her eyes shifted, following me as I peeked through. My heart thudded in my chest. I shut the curtain, turned off the light, and sat in the dark. Maybe if she thought I wasn't home, she'd go away. Minutes dragged by. I told myself it was fine, just ignore it. And then came the sound. Tap, tap, tap. Fingernails on glass. I turned my head slowly. Through the curtain, I saw the outline of a hand pressed against the window. She'd climbed up to the second floor. I scrambled for my phone, hands shaking, and whispered to the police that someone was at my window trying to get in. They told me to stay inside, stay calm, and officers were on their way. The tapping stopped. When I finally pulled the curtain back, she was gone. The police searched the alley, the stairs, the roof. Nothing. No footprints, no sign of her at all. One officer told me it was probably someone on drugs. Said she was messing with me. Told me to keep the window locked. But that smile, no drug makes you smile like that. For 2 nights, nothing happened. I convinced myself it was over. But on the third night, right at 12:30, I woke up to the sound again. Tap, tap, tap. Dread filled me as I turned my head toward the window. Her face was pressed against the glass. That horrible smile wider now, showing every tooth. Her eyes unblinking, her skin pale in the faint glow outside. I screamed, lunged for the lamp and flicked it on. The second the light filled the room, she was gone. No footsteps, no shadow moving away, just gone. I didn't sleep that night. In the morning, I saw the handprints. Small, smudged prints dragged slowly down the glass. Over the next week, more signs appeared. Scratches around the doorknob. The sound of faint footsteps in the stairwell when no one else was home. And then came the note. A scrap of paper shoved under my door. 3 words written in messy handwriting. I like watching. That was the moment I broke. I grabbed a bag and left. Stayed with a friend across town. For a while it was fine. I even laughed about it. Told my friend it was probably just some crazy neighbor. But deep down, I knew. Then one night, as I was drifting off, my phone buzzed with a notification. Motion detected. The camera I had left in my old apartment. I opened the app, my stomach twisting. And there she was, the woman, inside my apartment. The footage showed her moving slowly around the room, dragging her fingers along the walls. She tilted her head like she was listening, and then she stopped. She turned directly toward the camera and smiled. That same wide, awful grin. I dropped my phone. My friend called the police again. They rushed to the apartment, but when they got there, the door was still locked, windows shut, no sign of forced entry, no woman. The officers didn't believe me, but I know what I saw. I moved, left the apartment and everything inside, started fresh in a new place across town. For weeks, it was quiet, peaceful. I started to believe I'd left her behind. Until last night. I was brushing my teeth, the bathroom mirror fogged with steam. For a moment, I thought I saw something behind me. A face. I turned quickly. Nothing. Just shadows. I shook it off, walked into my bedroom, and went to close the curtains. That's when I froze. She was there, outside the window, watching me, smiling. The same horrible grin. Stretched wider than ever. Since then, she's been appearing more often. At work, I catch glimpses of her in reflections, store windows, car mirrors. Always watching, always smiling. I don't know who she is, or what she is. I tried searching for stories online, urban legends, ghosts, stalkers. Nothing matched. But the more I read, the more I realized one thing. It doesn't matter where I go. She will find me. She isn't bound to that apartment or that alley or even the city. She's bound to me. So if you ever hear tapping at your window in the middle of the night, don't look. Don't pull back the curtain. Because if you see her, if you meet her eyes and notice that awful smile, she'll know you see her. And once she knows you see her, she'll never stop. What would you do if someone smiled at your window tonight? Call the police? Run? Pretend not to see? Comment below. But remember, none of those choices will save you. Not when she's already chosen you.